Welcome to the Deep Dive. We sift through the sources, connect the dots, and try to give you that deeper understanding. Today we're diving into a story that's just packed with emotion. Picture this, Christmas at the Ritz in Paris. Sounds idyllic, right?
Absolutely, like something out of a movie.
But for the family in our story, this tradition hides this raw, desperate longing for a child. And that longing, it sets off a chain reaction leading to, well, unimaginable tragedies, secrets, lies, and somehow eventually a second chance.
That's quite a journey.
It really is. Our source today is the novel Finding Grace. It's this intimate, really layered story about loss, resilience, and those surprising connections that shape our lives.
A very rich text to unpack.
Exactly. So our mission is to pull out the key insights, trace those hidden emotional threads, and basically connect the dots. Love, lies, legacy, they all get tangled up. Expect some aha moments as we get into it. Okay, so let's jump in. The story kicks off with Honor. She already has a daughter, Chloe, but she's utterly consumed by wanting another baby.
And the book makes it clear this isn't a new thing. She's been through 5 miscarriages. It mentions her ovaries were even confiscated, as the text puts it.
Yeah, a stark term. So she's turned to surrogacy with a woman named Jess.
And the emotional toll is huge. You really feel the tension with her husband, Tom.
Right. That Christmas at the Ritz tradition becomes a symbol of the strain. There's this line where Honor says she's oscillating between staring at my husband and daughter adoringly and wondering how long it would take to drown myself in the Seine.
Wow. That's dark. It really shows the depth of her despair.
It does. And you see her anxiety about the surrogate, Jess. Sending these texts she worries read as desperate, even though she tries to make them sound cheerful.
Leading to arguments with Tom, right, about this longing for one more baby.
Big time. It escalates. At one point, she even shouts, "Go fuck yourself," at him.
Oof.
Yeah. Tom feels completely pushed aside. She rejects his advances. She's lost in IVF forums. It really shows how this consuming desire can just, fracture a relationship.
It becomes the only thing that matters to her.
And then everything changes. The unthinkable.
The terrorist attack at the Ritz.
Honor and Chloe are killed. Instantly. The way the book describes Tom's grief is just visceral.
It really is. That detail about him struggling to find the French word for coffin.
Yes. And his teeth chattering in the hospital. The sheer physical shock.
And then the awful realization that he has to be the one to tell Honor's mother, just layer upon layer of horror.
What strikes you about how the immediate aftermath is handled?
It's the collision of profound personal devastation with these incredibly stark, almost clinical logistics. Grief just strips everything else away.
You see that straight away with the clash over the burial, don't you?
Absolutely. Tom knows Honor wanted to be buried in England beside her father. But her mother, Colette, she just digs her heels in. My daughter is French. She should be buried here.
And when Tom insists, Colette calls him cruel.
You're a very cruel man. Chilling. In that moment of shared loss, there's this immediate conflict.
And the logistics just keep piling on the pain. That visit to the coffin maker, Elaine.
Oh, that scene is heartbreaking. Tom can't remember Honor's exact height. He has to measure Chloe against his trousers, Honor against his chest, remembering her whispering that poem.
The Baudelaire poem. We'll come back to that.
Yeah. It's just devastating. And then the transport, their body is marked hazardous waste.
God, that's brutal. Dehumanizing.
Completely. And then the airport, the emergency passport, being on standby, finally having to tell the check-in agent, my wife and child are in the hold.
It just hammers home how grief isn't just this internal emotional thing. It's this external bureaucratic nightmare, too.
It really compounds the trauma.
And bringing them home, well, returning to the house is its own kind of agony.
That line is so powerful. Silent, yet everything spoke.
What do you think that means exactly? That phrase, it wasn't the contents that had been stolen, it was the context.
It's brilliant, isn't it? It means all the familiar things are there, the furniture, the photos, but the people who gave them meaning, who created the context for them, they're gone.
So the objects almost become painful reminders.
Exactly. They're like ghosts of meaning. He finds Honor's last lists on the fridge, book Louvre, hedgie, do not forget, all these little mundane plans for a future that's just vanished.
It's the everyday stuff that hits hardest sometimes.
For sure. And then in her bathroom cabinet, identifying her lotions by smell. He remembers her worrying about getting old, and the thought hits him. Aging had been marketed all wrong. The wonder of getting old.
Oh, that's rough, realizing she'll never get that chance.
It underlines the tragedy of a life cut short, focusing on anxieties that now seem so tragically irrelevant.
Absolutely, it's just layers of loss. But then right in the middle of this absolute devastation, something shifts. A phone call.
Yeah, this is where the story takes that unexpected turn.
It's Dr. Chung, calling to confirm that Jess, the surrogate,
Yeah.
she's pregnant, with Tom and Honor's baby.
Talk about a lifeline. In the darkest possible moment.
Literally. Tom reflects later, had there not been that tiny sign of life, he would have climbed into the grave with us and never come out.
It anchors him, gives him a reason.
A powerful reason. But it's not easy. Preparing for this baby, Henry,
Yeah.
it's overwhelming. He has a breakdown in a pram shop just trying to buy baby gear.
Understandable. How do you even process buying baby things when you're drowning in grief for the child you lost?
Exactly. And it's Jess, the surrogate, who kind of steps in. She says this incredible thing to him. You will never fix what's been mercilessly shattered. This baby is coming. You've been given a gift, and you must take it. You survived, Tom.
Wow, that's incredibly insightful and compassionate from her.
Right. It's this moment of grace, acknowledging the unbreakable pain, but pushing him toward the future he does have.
But even with Henry there, the past isn't just erased, is it? Parenting is complicated.
Oh, hugely. He's constantly comparing Henry to Chloe. He can't even go into bookshops because they sell Honor's children's books, The Ice Cream Zoo.
That line captures it perfectly. Grief's iron grip never weakens. You just become accustomed to its hand around your throat, moving forward but never moving on.
That hits hard. It's not about forgetting, it's about carrying it.
Precisely. It shapes everything.
And this struggle eventually forces a confrontation with the truth, right? When Henry calls his teacher, Mummy.
Yeah, that innocent comment makes Tom realize he's been trying to shield Henry, swaddle him from consequence, as the book says, trying to protect him from the complexities of his birth.
But then fate, maybe? A misaddressed letter arrives?
For a grace stone.
And it mentions a donor batch number, 1940 GG, Henry's donor number. The anonymous egg donor Honor had handpicked.
Talk about a bombshell landing on your doorstep.
Right. So Tom starts digging through Honor's old files, finding this box just overflowing with fertility clinic paperwork, the physical evidence of my unceasing desire for another child.
And inside.
A CD marked 1940 GG with a baby picture of Grace on it.
This is where it gets really complex, ethically speaking.
So.
Well, you have to ask, what's the implication of finding out the identity of a donor who was meant to be anonymous, especially one chosen so carefully by his late wife? What does he owe to Honor's wishes versus his own curiosity, or maybe even need?
That's a heavy question. And Tom, he gives in to that curiosity. He plays the CD.
And he hears Grace's voice, confirming she's a closed donor, meaning anonymity was the agreement.
But then,
the poem.
the same Baudelaire poem Honor used to recite, do you come from heaven or rise from the abyss, beauty?
The exact same one.
And Tom's realization is instant. This isn't just a poem anymore. It's not the white flag it used to be in their arguments. It's a siren calling him.
An undeniable connection. Almost supernatural.
It feels fated, doesn't it? Which, of course, propels him to find her.
He seeks her out. Deliberately. First, he just watches her through the window of her wine shop, Sprezzatura. He feels like his own shadow looks sinister.
That detail is telling. He knows deep down there's something clandestine about this, even before he approaches her. He's carrying this huge secret. He finds a way in, though. He discovers she runs a support group, Sunday Blues, for widows.
A perfect, natural entry point for him as a widower. They share that dialect of lost love, as the author puts it.
It's a powerful phrase. And they bond quickly over that shared experience.
Yeah, he starts helping her with the accounts for her shop. He admits he wasn't the best dad before everything happened. He's being vulnerable, but still holding back the biggest truth.
Right. They even have this almost kiss that gets interrupted. But the core issue, Henry's origin, remains unspoken. It hangs there.
And his reluctance, it makes sense on one level. He's protecting himself, protecting this fragile new connection. Maybe guilt plays a part, wanting something pure, untainted by the complexities of the past.
But building it on a lie, essentially.
Or at least a massive omission. It's a precarious foundation.
That tension really comes to a head during that date at the Tate Modern, in the infinity-mirrored room.
Ah, yes, that scene is crucial. He remembers being there before, with Honor when she was pregnant. Back then, he saw the grim reality of extinction. Death felt imminent.
Such a bleak perspective, but this time with Grace.
It's completely different. He sees Fractured images felt limitless, like they're coasting together towards a very particular kind of heaven, hope,
A little
possibility.
reversal. And it's there she tells him her own story, right?
Yeah, about her husband, Pietro, dying during their IVF journey, how she had to go through the egg retrieval alone, pumped full of hormones, shared trauma, shared grief.
And in that moment of connection, he makes the call.
He decides he's not going to tell her she's Henry's biological mother. He sees it as too big a gamble now.
Protecting that feeling of heaven, even if it's built on shaky ground, it's so human, that instinct, but the potential fallout.
Absolutely. And then Colette, Honor's mother, throws another curveball. She visits, meets Grace, and is immediately struck by the resemblance to Honor. The eyes, incredible, very blue, like hers.
Eerie. Like fate keeps dropping hints.
Right. But surprisingly, Colette and Grace actually bond. Colette helps her cook, and then we get that stunning revelation about Colette herself.
The scars.
Yeah, the two thick, jagged scars where her breasts should have been. We learn about her past breast cancer. And suddenly, her sending Honor away to boarding school, it's reframed. It wasn't necessarily coldness. It could have been her way of coping, of protecting Honor during her illness.
It adds so much depth to Colette. Changes how you see her completely.
It really does.
Yeah.
Shows how much history can be hidden beneath the surface.
But secrets rarely stay hidden forever, do they? Especially when someone like Lauren is involved.
Ah, Lauren. The catalyst for the implosion.
At an Easter egg hunt, of all places,
Yeah.
Lauren gets drunk and just drops the bomb on Grace. Tells her Honor and Tom used an egg donor for Henry.
Just like that, casually.
Apparently so. Grace is floored, obviously.
Yeah.
And Lauren doesn't stop there. She starts talking about how relentless Honor was, the fights with Tom, even twisting it to imply Tom was having our baby with another woman.
That's just malicious. Twisting the knife.
It really is. And in the middle of all this rising tension, Tom proposes.
And he uses Honor's ring.
Yes. Which completely freaks out their friends, especially Annie. She's frozen in terror. You can just imagine the silent screaming going on internally.
Because they know. They know the truth about Grace and Henry. That ring symbolizes a connection Grace has no idea about.
Exactly. So Tom's trying to solidify this future, but every move he makes seems to tighten the knot of this lie. It's all building towards disaster.
A ticking time bomb, like you said, and it goes off spectacularly.
At the engagement party, Lauren, whether it's deliberate sabotage or just drunken chaos,
It's the CD, the egg donor interview CD.
through the speakers for everyone to hear.
Oh.
Grace hears her own voice. Donor number 1940 GG, I'm a closed donor. And then the Baudelaire poem again.
The penny drops. Horrifically. Publicly.
Instantly, she screams at Tom, "You lied to me, you horrible fucking person," rips the ring off, shoves it back at him, and runs out.
Devastating. Utterly devastating for her.
And the worst part? Henry, their son, sitting on the stairs. He hears it all.
Oh, God. That poor kid. The collateral damage of the parents' secrets.
It's just crushing. So the aftermath, Grace is gone, obviously.
Understandably.
Tom confronts Lauren, realizes she did it deliberately. He tells her, "You can keep your key. I'm changing the locks." Cuts her off completely.
Finally drawing a line. But the damage is done.
He finds the CD later in the basement with Honor's old things. Almost like she left it there for him to find eventually.
A final piece of the puzzle from beyond the grave, perhaps.
And then he just breaks down completely. Confesses everything to Colette, the guilt about not saving Honor and Chloe, the anger over Honor's last words, how much he loved her despite the fights, crying out, "How dare I grieve? I got to go on with Henry." They didn't.
That feels like the real turning point for Tom, doesn't it? That raw, unfiltered honesty, letting go of the stoicism.
Totally. It's where the healing actually seems to start. He's acknowledging his own messiness, his guilt, his pain.
And Colette's reaction is surprising, isn't it? She offers comfort. She agrees to read Honor's memoir.
Yeah, this unlikely alliance forms between them, born out of this shared, complicated grief. It's quite beautiful, in a way.
It shows how vulnerability can actually build bridges.
So after that breakdown, he finally does what he probably should have done earlier. He tells Henry.
The truth about his origins.
Yeah, in simple terms a child can understand. Mummy's tummy broke. Grace helped me and Mummy make you.
And how does Henry take it?
With surprising acceptance. Kids can be remarkably resilient and uncomplicated about these things sometimes. It seems to lift a weight off Tom.
Unnecessary step. Then he posts Grace's misaddressed letter back to her. A gesture of letting go.
I think so. Respecting her space, acknowledging the truth is out there, and then fast forward 6 months.
And Grace is back.
She is. And she's pregnant. With Tom's baby. a girl.
Wow, so they found their way back.
It turns out Colette played a role. She went to see Grace, told her that Honor's deepest wish was actually for Tom to find love again, to move on, that Colette herself was meant to be a sort of plan B to make sure that happened.
Colette, acting as matchmaker, based on Honor's wishes. That's unexpected.
Very. Apparently, that conversation is why Grace withdrew from her sommelier exam. It gave her pause, made her reconsider.
So Colette kind of brokered the peace, or at least opened the door again.
Seems like it. The story ends with Tom driving home, thinking about his family, Grace, Henry, the new baby coming, embracing an honest future.
And recognizing that Henry was always his happy ending, regardless of what happened with Grace.
Exactly. Our son. It's not a neat fairy tale ending, but it feels earned. Messy, complicated, but real.
Yeah, a testament to resilience, I suppose.
Definitely. What a journey we've tracked here. From that intense longing and devastating loss, through the weight of secrets, to finding a path towards healing and, well, a new kind of family.
We saw how unexpected connections can form in grief, how honesty is painful, but ultimately freeing.
And how love can kind of find a way, even through the darkest times. It really makes you think about how life's biggest challenges sometimes lead to unexpected gifts.
And that maybe the real act of love sometimes is letting go enough to allow someone else to find their happiness, even if it looks different than you imagined.
Which leaves us with something to chew on, maybe. What hidden truths are lurking in our own lives?
And what might happen, good or bad, if we finally brought them into the light? What kind of connections might deepen or change if we found the courage?
A powerful thought to end on. That's it for this deep dive. Thanks for joining us. Hopefully you feel a bit more informed, a bit more reflective. Until next time.